Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all. Peak flow. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind. But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Blow your mind.
Why you do that? Like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad? Like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag. My bad. You ain't get. Too bad. My bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Yeah. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Ooh. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Yeah. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the Jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my Jag talk.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd down.
What? 280. 52 is the mic. Go. 52 is the mic right here.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. DJ Reader in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. From midfield now, Haskins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Looking to throw. Tate, and he's going to have the hook up to QT. And they'll get 9 there as that sack. Sets him up better for 3rd down.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd down.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Back to throw. Tate. Looking left side, and it's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 22-yard line. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in with in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it. Well, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. They got the ball to the outer third of the field, but they could not seal that edge and lost yardage.
And I love how you brought that up, because sealing the edge is often a function of the offensive tackle on the line of scrimmage, oftentimes a tight end, maybe your H-back, someone to set the edge at the line of scrimmage to give them a spot to get to. If you're not able to do that, you're not able to turn the corner.
Let's go!
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Going on the ground with Eckler. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Austin Eckler with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They go play action now. Wilson. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. To throw is Wilson. Trying to lay one up deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain of 32 that time.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Check 55, Mike. Go 14. I'm here all day.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works free. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Check 41. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. They go play action with Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
You ain't going nowhere.
Haskins down around his goal line. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll run here with Eckler. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Let's go. Get the flag. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
3rd and 2, now Haskins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Mike. Full team. Hey, 0. 41 Mike.
To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Myers' kick is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal. Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get it to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one a first down pickup of 8. On first down, it's Haskins. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Haskins looking to throw on first down. It's complete to Fuller. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Looking to throw again on second down. Haskins. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Seahawks.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Final play of the half, it's Haskins. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Austin Safarian-Jenkins in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans push further out in front.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Philip Dorsett by himself. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Haskins to throw it. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
It's a gain of 6. 1st down, Texans.
Here we go.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 32-yard line.
Set, hut, Pittsburgh. 55. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn you up.
Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Third down, here's Haskins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
It's your turn, baby.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
And to give this time to the tailback. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big run there, 29 yards and a 1st.
I can't help but laugh, and the only reason is anytime the backup breaks a big one like that, he's going to be hard to deal with in film, wanting to know why he's not getting started carries.
That's what he's thinking. Great carry there. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Austin Eckler, his second touchdown of the night. And the Texans push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now Wilson. Got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. He got 29 yards that time. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 33. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Here is Eckler. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
It's Eckler again. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 16-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Throwing now, Haskins on first down. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
3rd and long.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Badgley's kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us. For a quick second there, I thought we were about to have a repeat performance of a kickoff return for a touchdown. This guy's on fire today.
Right here, right here.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Whitney merciless. His 2nd sack of the night. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. From the gun, Wilson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Vernon Hargreaves with a pick.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Once more, here's Eckler. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Now they'll look to Haskins to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. He's got Fuller. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. On the ground, it's Eckler. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. Second down, Haskins. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Larry Ogunjobi in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And it's third down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on third and long. Haskins. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
36-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Come on, let's go.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train? And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Khalil Mack in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. After the sack on first down, Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Yannick Ngakoue, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's third and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down again. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Houston, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, it's a loss that could wind up hurting a little as they fall now to 11-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change.